Hello everybody, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, and let's just continue, shall we? Thus the languid days of mid-June pass by. I mail my letter to Iwanako and receive no reply. Having decided to ditch the old me, I start observing my fellow students even closer than I did before, hoping to understand how other people cope with their own issues. I start seeing things I didn't before, and it makes me wonder if I've been wrong twice. Superficially, everyone is abnormal, yet so strikingly normal that it shocked me at first. I admired the way my new schoolmates turned my prejudices around just like that, simply by being themselves. Now that I've gotten used to it, I begin noticing other kinds of tones in the people surrounding me every day. There's a soft, numb sadness all around me. I can see the effort everyone has to make just to get through the day, and how it weighs on their shoulders like it weighs on mine. Even the brightest smile is just slightly subdued, every outburst of annoyance just slightly dampened. It's simple, but it's definitely there. I try to think what it means, what I can learn from others. I wonder if deep down everyone is as lost as I am. Is there even one person in here who has truly found peace? I start to feel doubtful about myself once again. I can't decide whether these people are happy, unhappy, or if they just learned to cope and now live in an unfeeling limbo like I did all spring. I escape from these feelings into the towering piles of books I carried to my room from Yuko's sanctuary. After realizing that this will just shut me down even more, I start going to the art club's room more often, usually whenever I can. Rin too seems to spend more time in there than her own classroom. I've often seen her totter towards the door at the very end of our corridor. That wooden door and the room behind it, smelling of paint and paper, seemed to mean more to her than the rest of the world combined. She says she has special permission to use the room, which I don't doubt at all. I don't think Nomiya would deny Rin anything. He seems to dote on her, like an uncle upon a favorite niece. Yeah, I realize now that it's been a day, I might have gotten a bit overboard last recording. So, yeah, I think I showed too much emotion, or I don't know. The object of his affection, however, has no favorites. She says she appreciates the teacher a lot for going the extra mile for her sake, but even when she says that, her expression is the same as always. It's as if she was talking about a particularly unremarkable rock that she saw the other day. I can't really figure out their relationship. Rin doesn't seem to let anyone close. I don't think even Emmy would say she's crossed the gap that seems to separate Rin from the rest of the world. I don't understand it. She seems so indifferent, yet so passionate at the same time. Somewhere, the school bells ring. The last call of the day. I realize I've been zoning out for who knows how long. Dazed, I sit up, straighter, trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. The pungent smells of linseed oil and turpentine mix in my nostrils as I draw a deep breath. I feel drowsy and light-headed. It's already this late, and a few club members left early, so it's just me, Rin, the teacher, and two other girls who are also about to leave. Rin is sitting to my right, slowly working on a painting while I'm idling the time away. I don't think she realizes I've been watching her this whole time. With a nimble move of her delicate ankle, she dips the brush into crimson paint and presses it lightly onto the canvas. A stain spreads around as if the brush was bleeding. Her progress has slowed down to a crawl. By now I've learned that this is dangerous for her technique, as the paint must not be allowed to dry before she is finished. It occurs to me that I'm literally watching paint dry, and yet somehow I'm not feeling bored, despite spacing out just now. Most of the time, the art club is very relaxed and freeform. Apart from times when Nomiya gets really excited about some technique or style he wants to teach us about, everyone is free to pursue their own interests. Lacking one, I keep floating around without a direction. I try this and that, but nothing really leaves me with a deeper impression. Not to mention that I don't seem to have a special knack for anything. Yeah, that was kind of me in high school. Yeah. Well, I did get praise for my attempt at watercolors, and I felt pretty good about that myself, but that's it. I suppose it's to be expected. I joined the art club mostly on a whim after all. I'm thinking that maybe I should quit the club. If it's going to be this pointless, but there's nothing really wrong with pointlessness, and I can't exactly say I'm unhappy. Unsatisfied, maybe, but I've got only myself to blame for that. As the pair of girls exit the club room with a cheerful bye-bye, Nomiya stands up from his desk. His chair scoots back with a loud screech that breaks the harmony of this quiet afternoon. He taps a pile of papers in his hands twice against the tabletop in order to straighten them, then stretches his back. I have a faculty meeting to attend, so I can't stay. I'll have to do some paperwork later. So if you want to stay, we can talk then. Sorry about this. There are two people here, but he's really only talking to one of us. Nomiya spends extra hours of his time mentoring Rin after official club hours are over, and I'll bet he'd like to discuss his plan of getting Rin's art into a gallery a little more. It's alright. I think I'll probably be here. But it's not a big deal if I'm not. I don't really have much going now. Rin answers without moving her eyes from her work in progress. The tone is neither the polite kind expected when talking to a teacher, nor her usual monotone. So I won't need to send a search party if you aren't here? Yes, no thanks. I don't like to party. We can talk later. Good girl. Smiling, the teacher picks up the rest of his papers and makes his way to the door. I glance at the clock above it, and then at my watch to double check. They're 3 minutes apart, but nevertheless, the club's meeting time is over now. Rin seems intent on staying here to work on her piece while waiting for the teacher. I can't quite imagine what their one-on-one time would be like. Would they actually discuss anything? Rin is always so subdued in what she says, and when she does say something, it's difficult to understand what she's talking about. Maybe Nomiya just talks endlessly, like he does at club meetings, letting Rin absorb what she will from his infinite well of art knowledge, like a sunflower turning to face the glowing sun. Do you mind if I stay? I thought maybe I'd give watercolors another try. I blurt out the excuse, sort of accidentally, embarrassing myself. Rin doesn't take her eyes off her painting. Okay. I shift around in my chair, then get to fetching a cup of water, brushes, colors, and some paper. The sound of my footsteps invades the still afternoon air. Before starting, I try to recall what the teacher told us. An important philosophy of the medium. Working with watercolors means more working with water than working with color. I try to keep that in mind and dip my tiny sable brush into the water cup. I'm mixing yellow and blue, trying to capture the sunlit treetops outside of the window. The sun is low, so the yellows are more pronounced and everything looks darker. I still can't quite connect what I see with what my hand does with the paints, but it's a passable attempt for my level. After a while, I start losing my focus and move the paper aside, deciding to watch Rin work for a while instead. That little while stretches first into a long while, then into a really long while. Rin paints, her entire being fully concentrated on the brush between her slender toes, and the painting come to life one stroke at a time. She seems determined, and yet at the same time relaxed, effortlessly moving the brush around, never hesitating. Colors meet and part, mix and cover each other on the canvas, bending to her quiet will. I don't know anything about composition, structure, or any of that stuff, but I really like Rin's paintings. I like how she looks when she paints. As usual, the silence between us compels me to speak, rather than merely wait for her to open up. She might end up saying nothing at all. Do you mind if we talk? I don't mind. I kinda wanted to ask more about why you get so weird about this thing the teacher wants to arrange for you. Rin picks up a tube of paint and squeezes it between her toes on a palette almost as easily as someone with opposable thumbs would. Taking up a brush again, she replies, "A lot of things, and some not things, unthings. I don't think that's a word. Do you want to talk about it?" I try to reach out to her clumsily, ignoring the embarrassing feeling of awkwardness. Rin keeps her focus on the painting, spreading more and more paint on the canvas, her lips forming a perfectly straight line as she concentrates on the job. Not really. Talking is hard. I mean, it's not hard. I'm talking even now, but saying the right things is really hard for me. No matter what, I just can't say the things I want. That sounds weird. It's true. I say all kinds of things that I don't really mean all the time, and sometimes I forget words and then I use the wrong words. I even come up with new words for things that already have some. That's the worst thing. I get really nervous and everything comes out as a mess, and I don't really understand what I want to say. I think there's something wrong with me that makes it like this. Remember when I said I could only think of 4 things at the same time? I nod wordlessly. It's not really 4. I mean, it is 4, but everything else is also there kind of in the background. Like being at an amusement park and a beehive at the same time, but that's not the point. I used to do better, like 6 or 7 things. I think so, at least. I feel like I'm becoming dumber. I think everyone has times when they feel like they can't say the right things. But that's there all the time, stronger and deeper. Yeah, deeper is a good word. I like that word. Deeper. It's that feeling of being underwater. Maybe it's just art. The more I paint, the more words I forget. And maybe at some point I will forget how to speak completely. It feels like I'm slowly forgetting everything. Do you remember what you thought about things 3 or 4 years ago? Oh, let me think. Not exactly, but like, I have an idea. I don't. A long pause ensues, during which time seems to bend around itself, almost tying itself into a knot. I don't think I've ever heard Rin talk this earnestly and for so long about anything before. It's like I'm fading away from the world. Rin's foot has stopped its work on the canvas, and she is staring at her painting, unmoving, as if gazing at some faraway horizon. Sunlight briefly glints in the corner of her onyx eyes. Something floats up into the top layer of Rin's being, and she lets out a long breath. Then she blinks, and it's gone. Paintings stay behind. When I look at my old things, I remember what I was thinking back when I made them. It made me feel I can be with all the past me's when I was a different me. I guess they were proof of my existence. She uses the exact same words Nomiya used when she spoke of... Hold on. So basically, apparently... So I got, like, a new number, like, a few years ago, right? And I still am getting texts from random people asking for this guy that does not have my name. And I've straight up been, like, replying to them, being like, I will pursue legal action if you continue to try to contact me. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll do that later. I probably should put my phone on, like, do not disturb or something like that. Anyways, sorry. She uses the exact same words Nomiya used when he spoke to us of the nature of art. I didn't think Rin was paying any attention back then. I wonder if she was listening, or whether she had heard the same passionate speech from Nomiya before. Either way, I feel overwhelmed. Boy, are you complicated. I would have taken up writing a diary. Her eyes quickly flicker to my direction and then back to the painting, but she doesn't pick up the brush anymore. That's a great idea. Why didn't I ever think of that? Are you being sarcastic? What's sarcasm? I don't call her on the joke if it is one. Right at that moment, Nomiya returns from his meeting. He waves to us a very melodramatic hello. Mildly surprised to see me here along with his pet student, walking with a boisterous gait to his desk, he drops his papers upon it. He picks up a handkerchief and cleans his glasses with incredibly meticulous care before walking over to us. Before he is within earshot of us, Rin says something to me in a quick, quiet voice. Change is the scariest thing in the world to me. And I seriously don't know if I want to change to a person who would do the thing the teacher wants me to do. I don't know if I could even if I wanted to. Hello again. Hello. Hello. What's going on? He smiles a bit sheepishly, looking at the both of us with uninhibited interest. Ah, nothing. We were just talking about that thing with your acquaintance in the gallery. For Ren's works, sort of. Oh, any decisions? I look at Ren, who's trying to arrange the bothered expression on her face into something else. Huh. Okay. Save. Okay, so the interesting thing about these options is apparently from one of my friends told me. It was like a Discord call, and he like, oh yeah, by the way, Rin's route is different than every other route because basically previous options change options in a future decision. So I'm wondering what on earth he was talking about. So basically, I don't know if I already hit all the decisions that influenced another decision, or this is the decision that will influence future outcomes. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to pick a random option. I think you'd be super popular. I mean, your paintings are really amazing. And you paint with your feet. That's really cool too. I bet people would be amazed. It's not a big deal. I would paint with hands if I had any. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Rin turns away, looking at her painting wistfully. I want to take back what I said if it was what made her make that face. I get it. She looks absentmindedly at me, not saying anything. I can't even tell if my words had any effect on her. I just don't get it. Anyone else would be jumping up and down in excitement. What's the point of doing your best, being at this art club, if you don't do anything with your talent? I'm telling you, I'm not going to be angry with you if you give this up. My voice rises higher. I don't know what makes me say this. It's like I've been taken over by some force out of my control. But I really do feel angry. Images of a letter written on cute stationery flash in my mind. Images of the maxed faces of my parents, doctors. Images of my time wasted. They mix into my feelings about Rin like a torrent of molten iron. I want to continue, but Rin suddenly stands up. Fine. I'm going. She trots out of the room without anyone saying anything. I stare after her, still seething, though with some voice of rationality in the back of my head, wondering if I made her angry as well. The teacher lets out an embarrassed, but extraordinary loud laugh. You care a lot for her, don't you? Nomiya looks at me over his circular pink glasses, smiling sympathetically. You've made friends with her then, Nakai? Well, something like that, I guess. Depends on how you look at it, to be honest, I'm not really sure. It's more like me and Rin just tend to hang out around each other irregularly, talking or not about something that often more resembles some twisted mockery of philosophy rather than normal everythings that friends chat about. Well, that's good, isn't it? You're a new student, and we should be promoting integration into the student body and such. I can't remember all the buzzwords they spew at faculty and Yamaku Foundation meetings, but that's how it is. Tezuka isn't the most social person around these parts either. Yeah, that's definitely true. So, she's talked about my suggestion to you? No, not really. I think it's been more me pressing her to decide something. Maybe I shouldn't have. No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm too soft with her. Even when I shouldn't. I don't really know how to handle Tezuka. She's so independent and willful. I wonder if this is what every old geezer of an art teacher who got his hands on a young and fiery prodigy feel like. He chuckles, ironically to himself a little bit, turning to face Rin's latest work, which she left drying on the easel. She departed so abruptly that I wonder if she considers it finally finished. So let's see the painting then. He leans in closer, peering at the canvas. It draws you in, doesn't it? Nomiya stands back straight, his face a dreamy, nostalgic visage. I don't answer him, and he seems to be taking my agreement as a given. I sometimes stay here after hours to just look at Tezuka's paintings. She's really just prodigious, and at such a young age, I get shivers just thinking of what she could become with a few more years of refinement. You asked what makes an artist, remember? This is it. They take a piece of the world and reshape it in their own image. Metaphorically, of course. Looking at her makes you wonder what the world looks like through her eyes. It's a wonderful thing to be young and full of passion. The most extraordinary time of your life. You would do well to remember that, Nakai. Yes, sir. It's so silly. People always ask artists, where do you get your ideas, as if ideas were something sold at the market for pocket change. You can't explain inspiration. For people like Tezuka, it's like breathing. It's an instinct. I've met maybe one or two with the same kind of raw potential, but no amount of potential will amount to anything if one doesn't work to realize it. It's practice, technique, skill, draw for an hour every day for a few years, and even the most hopeless case becomes a passable artist. Tezuka is not brilliant because she was born with a natural talent for this kind of thing. She's brilliant because she works harder than anyone, ever since she learned to hold a pen, most likely. And all of it with her feet, no less. Absolutely phenomenal. Silence finally lands in the clubroom as Nomiya lets himself get drawn back into Rin's painting, gently murmuring acceptance towards the still wet canvas. So, what kind of things do you paint yourself? As if walking from a reverie, he looks at me, surprised at my talking to him. Oh, I don't. Not anymore. I became an art teacher only after my career in that field came to an end. I just pass on knowledge to the next generation. So you mean you failed? The way Nomiya answers is curious, both giving and withholding information. I feel like asking more, but he cuts in before I get the chance. Now, you should run along, my boy. It's almost dinner time, isn't it? Yes, sir. Have a good evening. You too. I quickly collect my stuff and step out of the deserted hallway, leaving the teacher alone with his musings. The weekend will be here soon. It's amazing how fast time flies here. I promised Emmy I'd join her for the celebration of her triumph at the track meet last week. That should be plenty of fun. Okay, so basically, all right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go over this. So basically, I uploaded a bunch of videos and like scheduled them, and the 1st of June, 2026, was the last video I recorded for Katawa Shoujo. So basically, right now it's the 24th, and what I want to do is I want to complete all of Rin's route and get a certain ending that's only available in Act 1. And then after that, I think I'm going to take a break and play another game for a bit. Then I'm going to go back to Katawa Shoujo and complete the other routes. I think that sounds good. Because honestly, like, playing one game over and over again, it gets rather tiring. So, you know, plus I could get bored of it. Like, yeah, for example, in, like, the past recordings, there was, like, the past few recordings, there was, the Emmy track thing and the Iwanako's note, which I like skipped over. And I skipped over those because, again, it felt like I just read them. Right? So, yeah, I'm sorry if anyone was annoyed by that, but, yeah, I figured I'd explain myself a bit, so, yeah. Are you sure you want to go? The weather that has been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The laden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast there's a 60 chance percent of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Of course I'm sure. I've been waiting for this all week. Emmy had planned a picnic at some nearby park with snacks aplenty brought from the convenience store. But with the weather this gloomy, it seems risky. I asked some other people to come too, but they didn't want to go because of the weather. We had to prove them wrong. Wrong how? You know, how it like always rains when you think it won't, and when you think it will, it doesn't. We'll go no matter what, so it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because I've practiced for the track meet. Now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing's going to stop me now. Yeah. Again, this is because Emmy doesn't have a partner. So like, she went on the diet with Hezao because, like, you know, she was trying to motivate him. So yeah. I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh. Hezao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on this planet who doesn't love sweets. That is debatable. I don't like sweets. Exactly. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear? Completely. We will go and eat our fill of sweets. Damn straight we will. I'm going to have to work it off later, but it's so worth it. Emmy seems to be extremely determined about this. She is positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always. But something seems special today. It looks like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot. Come on! I grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella I brought and start to follow the two girls who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. My umbrella is really fancy. The old-fashioned kind with a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape, almost as good as new. It's really big too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I all fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon walk years ago, when I was about 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. We walk along the road leading down from the school towards the convenience store, the clouds casting their dark shadow on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I am pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Didn't you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us. She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about that. We aren't made of sugar. I thought that's what exactly girls were made of, especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. She just sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one, but it's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there, in that gray area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of wary about starting a conversation, since the last time didn't end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then, she comments on something, to which Rin replies in an automatic-sounding, nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little. As we reach the bottom of this hill, the first raindrops begin to fall. I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. I don't know. I was thinking of saving Doki Doki Literature Club for about October, but I don't know that. Yeah, that's something I kind of consider. Anyway, so yeah, I am considering playing other games. So yeah, just to let you guys know. So it's not one or two rain clouds anymore. The entire sky has turned shadowy gray, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. Oh shoot, I guess we're not gonna have a picnic then. What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic? A picnic in rain? No, we just all catch a cold. And I don't like me getting me or my snacks wet. I kinda like it. Not the snacks part, though. Emmy considers our problematic situation for a moment, while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered. Hey, Azao, have you been to this Shanghai yet? It's a cafe. It's a cafe around here, right? I've heard of it. It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. If it's just a really quick shower, we can still go for the picnic. And if it gets worse, we'll just order cake there instead. Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointillist artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of cars parked on the sides of the street and already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalks. The yellow light shining through the rainwater streaming down the windows looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy, and now we are all stranded together, here in this cozy little place. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Parisian-style tables and chairs, in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. There's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries to another table taken by Yamaku students, then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us, before finally turning to serve us. Yuko? Now that she's close and facing me, I see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit, and she has tied her hair up in buns to match. It's a completely different image from her mousy, plain style at her other job. Yuko blinks a few times, looking confused, then remembers that she was about to say something. Welcome to the Shanghai. So you work here too? Thought you were a university student or something. Yes, that too. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures. Good thing too, since today's been so busy. I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today? Emmy doesn't hesitate, even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store. Tea for everyone, and cake for me. Yuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion. Yes, today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie. Strawberry. No, lemon. No, actually, I'll take both. She looks at me in challenge. I'll just take the pie. Nothing. Emmy makes a face at Rin, as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in. Oh, come on, Rin, that's not polite at all. Nothing, thank you. No, you silly. I meant that you should order something too. I'll take a straw then, my feet are all wet. Yep. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry, before deciding that we've finished ordering. Thank you very much. She bows down a little bit, deeply, and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather or discussion over recent homework carry from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain. After a while, Yuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. She slaps the tray over onto our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rin's lap. We barely recover before she blows again and leaves hurrying off to serve the other customers. Emmy has been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto, while I content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rin's cup. Rin looks at the way the tea swirls around in her white china cup, her eyes half closed, as almost like she is being hypnotized. I pick up my fork and eye the food in front of me. The pie I got looks perfectly done. A thick layer of meringue atop a creamy meringue? I don't know how to say it. Atop creamy lemon custard. After having the first bite, I pause, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and the smooth, sugary that thing. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me. It's very good. She's talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small. I want to taste some of that. Before I get to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie and takes a piece with her fork and escapes with it. This is pretty good too. What are you doing? You have a slice of your own. Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think? Her insolence is outrageous. But the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. Here's the thing, Zao. Here's the thing. Being a gentleman is one of the least attractive things that you can do for a woman. Okay, I'm done. I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Emmy is more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. I take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's good and hot, even though I don't usually care much for tea, and the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here, not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry cake, and Ren spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Even Yuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing into Emmy's bottomless stomach, just as quickly as the previous two. Despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, though it seems to be letting up a little. Too bad it had to rain on our parade. Yeah, at least it's not hail. Like, a few days ago, again, while I was taking one of my usual walks, right, what happened was, basically, it started hailing, and, you know, I was about to go, like, up a hill to, like, you know, go home at the end of it. But, like, okay, so it starts hailing when I'm about to go up the hill. So I have to turn back, because the closest place that is near me is the 7-Eleven. So I go into the 7-Eleven and just stare out the window at the front as, like, this massive pile of hail just comes down and just hitting cars and shit. Anyways, and I was like hit a few times, but like it was like pretty big hail. It was like, what? So yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been looking good. Like, it's been looking good lately, though. Weren't we supposed to have a picnic? Emmy doesn't look too distraught over this turn of events. Nah, it's fine. We had a good time, didn't we? I feel really pumped up. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I kind of want to hike back to the school, get rid of this energy, and work off some of that cake. She stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat after rolling her shoulders around twice. She smiles brightly. Man, I can't really run with these legs, though, especially uphill. I wish I brought my other ones. This notion sounds odd, spoken so casually, but I guess for Emmy, changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes. Maybe if I walk really fast, that'll be like running. I think I'll do that. I won't be able to keep up with that at going uphill, though. I really am in bad shape. Plus, you'll get wet without an umbrella. It's hardly even a drizzle now. A few drops won't hurt. I think I'm gonna go to the track after I change my legs, too. Emmy skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly, she seems to remember something as she stops and spins around. See you tomorrow! Come eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring enough for 3. Rin and I are left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon she disappears around a street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy is so perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to the school so at least one of you won't get wet? If you're happy with it. It seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room, which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges, and I'm happy that Rin feels the same way. Thus it is decided that we are content with each other's company for now, and we start walking in the same direction as Emmy, albeit at a considerably calmer pace. I get a bit closer to Rin. Even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both, I can feel her nearby warmth providing a contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound, playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. I realize that I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale, taking a scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my senses. The world melts into a blur inside the rain. The colors of the sky have deepened from gray to dark blue, with hues of red added to the mix from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if I could reach out my hand and touch it. Have I told you how much I like the rain? It's like painting. It makes me feel connected. Almost echoing my thoughts, Rin lets out one of her own. It slips out of her mouth, circling around us gently. Everything looks so soft, like the outlines of things just disappear. I like that. It's like the rain is hugging me. Her voice sounds different from usual, more gentle now and soft. I wonder if it's only because of the rain, or because of the mood the rain brought upon the quiet artist girl. I feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah, I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. Yeah. I wonder what it is it about the rain. Everything. A silence follows the statement, as it allows for no continuation. I decide to push the direction of the conversation a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your painting to others? Don't you want to be connected to other people? It's not the same thing. You're comparing apples to squids. I brought up the subject Rin wants to avoid, and it shuts her down again. The question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to the school, and I can't help wondering what on earth I could have truly said what I could have said to truly reach Ren. Does she feel that she's lacking an identity? She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She seems like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. I never know what to expect when I talk to her. I wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. If Rin is asking herself every day, who am I, and obsessively paints images to define herself day after day, what does she think of that way of living? The irony is, that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume it's the natural state of being for this girl. When we stop in front of the dormitories, Rin turns to face me. As if sensing my thoughts from afar, her gaze travels emptily past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Her dark eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves, like a reverse mirror. That empty gaze lets nothing out. If I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, I have to work it out myself. Rin opens her mouth and then closes it without saying anything. The silence lasts for a few moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building door. I'm not sure why that took me so long. See you tomorrow. Okay, well. Alright. So basically, brand new save. So basically, yeah, this is going to be my only recording I'm going to do today. And this is going to be posted over a week from now at the 2nd of July. So basically, after I do the Rin route and that extra thing I want to do in Act 1, um, what exactly game would you be interested in me playing? Because honestly, again, I thought about Doki Doki Literature Club, but it's gonna be in October, right? Because Halloween spooky. I'm sorry for spoilers on that, but like I mean, if you're interested in Katawa Shoujo, you probably play Doki Doki. But yeah, I was also thinking of another horror title called Me Side, and I'm also thinking, although if I do take on another visual novel, it's going to take longer. So I'm thinking of just doing a shorter game. Like, let's go to the main menu. Yeah. Like, if I do another visual novel, it's going to take even longer, right? Because apparently I've been looking. Apparently, right? This game is apparently short for a visual novel, right? And I looked up like how long does it normally take to complete Katawa Shoujo, and you know, and all the answers I've been getting, it's like, oh well, it's significantly shorter than most visual novels. So if I decided to play another visual novel, right, that would be that would take even longer, I think. So like I would just need like a short game to take a break and then just go back. So yeah. Well, tell me what you think about it. This is gonna get uploaded on June 2nd. So yeah, if I don't get any suggestions, I'm just gonna do something else. Okay. So yeah. Well, have a nice day. It's been Dean the Autist. Goodbye.